A very good morning to all the viewers and listeners of Hello Kolkata podcast, a Kolkata Calling podcast series. Like every Sunday, today we are back with a very, very special guest from Kolkata, from Bengal. And it'll be my honor and privilege to introduce him in a moment. But before we get there, a small announcement. Today on Hello Kolkata podcast, we are hitting our 50th episode. It's been a long journey. We started the podcast series last year as part of the Kolkata Calling Initiative. And over the last 1.5 years, we've had some tremendous guests, leaders, change makers on our platform. And today, just like that, we are on our 50th episode. And usually, as the saying goes, 50th is considered a golden jubilee of sorts. And today, our guest ties very deeply with the theme of legacy, gold, and you will probably know from the announcement who we are talking about. It is my honor and privilege to welcome Mr. Oushnik Chandra, who leads PC Chandra Jewellers as the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. PC Chandra, need any more introduction, but I'll still go ahead and introduce PC Chandra. It's one of Eastern India's most iconic legacy brands with a heritage rooted in trust, tradition, and timeless elegance. It started as early as 1939. The brand has become synonymous with high-quality gold jewelry, exquisite bridal collections, and deep cultural connection with the entire Bengali community. Today, Oushnik, as CEO, is steering the brand into a new era, modernizing customer experiences, investing in omnichannel growth, and building on the company's reputation for integrity and authenticity. His leadership reflects a thoughtful balance of preserving the legacy and moving forward into the future with innovation in a highly competitive space. PC Chandra has been awarded with many awards, which includes the most prestigious brand of Asia 2024-2025, prestigious brand award in 2020, then the Economic Times prestigious brands awards in 2021, iconic retailer of Eastern India 2024, and many more. Oushnik himself is a fourth generation leader. He is an MBA from HEC Paris and Babson College. He has an MSc from Glasgow. He's educated in Chartered Accountancy and CFA Level 1, and more close to home, he's an alumni of St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, and Don Bosco School, Park Circus. So without further ado, let me welcome Oushnik onto the main stage. Oushnik, a warm welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Namaskar, Shubhida, and namaskar to everyone.
Dada bolo na. But yes, we do have a common connection, actually two common connections. One is obviously Don Bosco and then St. Xavier's. And it was a great honor and privilege hosting you as a panelist at the St. Xavier's College Prism Conclave we did recently. Wonderful listening to you. And today, I am sure our listeners and viewers will learn a lot from your journey, your experience of leading PC Chandra. Oushnik, PC Chandra, তোমার রোলে the CEO রোলে আসার আগে যদি একটু তোমার background, your early days growing up, early influences. Obviously, you belong to the PC Chandra business family, so induction would have happened very early. But if you can tell us a little about your early days in Kolkata.
Sure. Growing up in a business family, your induction starts from the time that you're born. So, it will be wrong to say যে আমি এই সবে join করেছি করে. It's been all throughout since the time I've been growing up, my infancy, adolescence. I've been hearing about business problems, dinner table conversations, and it's been constantly going. And I think for a business family, that's extremely important. That develops you across the changing landscape. So till the time you're hitting 2025, you already know what's been happening since the last 2 decades, last 1.5 decades, and you're aware of things. So that's a very important aspect. So coming to my education stints, like you said, I'm an alumni from Don Bosco. আমি class 12 Don Bosco থেকে করেছি. After that, I've joined St. Xavier's College as a BCom graduate. So ওখান থেকে I've done my BCom. Then while I was doing my BCom, I've done my Chartered Accountancy studies. So that was there. Post that, during my Chartered Accountancy studies, I've joined an auditing firm. সেখানে আমি বিভিন্ন জায়গায় auditing করেছি. I've done auditing in a medical company, an educational institution, a charitable foundation, an investment company. So বিভিন্ন জায়গায় I've had my auditing experiences. After that, I've done my MSc in International Business from University of Glasgow. During that, I've got the opportunity to do some business expansion projects with a renowned watch company in Glasgow called as Pollen Watches. I've also done some part-time work in a company called Arc Hospitality, which I'll come with later of the podcast, which has really helped me understand customer service along with being a cashier. I'll tell that probably later in the podcast. So that was pretty a good experience. After that, I came back, and that's when I formally joined my family business. I formally joined PC Chandra Jewellers. I joined on the factory floor. So I was there making rings, making pendants, making bangles, trying to solder ornaments. I would say trying to solder ornaments because it's not a 1 day or a 1 month or a 1 year journey. It takes a long, long time. So that was a very interesting experience, an experience which taught me how jewelry is actually made. So while on the factory floor, while that training was done, I was rotated across departments. I was rotated across hallmarking. I was rotated across accounts, production, sales, marketing. Once I've had that training and a couple of responsibilities fulfilled, I went to my education era where I did my MBA from Babson College and HEC Paris. And post that, I come back here in Calcutta back to my family business, and now I'm as the CEO of PC Chandra Jewellers.
Wonderful. Uh, Oushnik, this is a fantastic, journey very early on in your career, because you've had exposure not just across multiple different kinds of businesses, but also even within the PC Chandra group, you've done different roles from a very early age. Growing up, was there sort of that end goal always in mind, that when you are going through all of this, that eventually I will have to come and take over the reins of the business? Did that add any pressure on you?
I would just reframe your question a little bit. It's not I will have to, it was more of I will. So
Okay.
it was more towards my want. It was I wanted to join this family business. I wanted to join a business where I've seen my grandfather, my granduncles, my father, my uncles, my brothers also. They have dedicated their lives towards this business, and it's something which I felt an ownership long before even I understood what business is. So
Mhm.
I think that was very important, and I should truly applaud my family for it, for allowing me that opportunity to have that ownership long before I actually understood. Like you see, like I told you, like যখন ডিনার টেবিল কর্ম আমরা বসে হয়তো সবাই মিলে খাচ্ছি, আজকে বিজনেসে এই জিনিস হয়েছে বা আজকে মার্কেটে এই জিনিস হয়েছে, and these conversations actually, and sometimes even if like I'm studying in class 5, class 6, or class 7, class 8, কতটুকুই বা you actually understand about worldly matters for that matter. But তখনও when they were discussing, আমি হয়তো কিছু বল, আচ্ছা যদি এইভাবে জিনিসটা করো, বা যদি probably it was very simple, but that's where even I got that importance from my father, from my uncles, that ঠিক আছে, আচ্ছা ও যেটা বলছে শুনি আমি কি বলছে, and that develops. And probably প্রথমে ওটা তো ABC 1 2 3 দিয়ে শুরু হয়, and then you start forming sentences, then you start forming paragraphs, and that's how the journey is. And I think I should truly, truly, truly applaud my family for giving me this opportunity early on to turn that I will have or to I actually will.
Yeah. And an 85-year-old legacy, and we'll come to this question of what does legacy mean to you, but an 85-year-old legacy of PC Chandra, started by Sri Purna Chandra Chandra in 1939. And we have seen, like in Bengal, across India, succeeding generations not always living up to the past glory, past heritage, somewhere faltering. As the fourth generation leader, taking over the reins of this legacy, how do you feel going forward into the new millennia with innovation, with your new vision?
You see, যেটা এখন the world is changing very fast.
Mhm.
And I would say post COVID, the world is changing faster than ever. So as business leaders, we also have to adapt that change, and we also have to change ourselves for that matter of fact. তো নতুন জিনিস, নতুন টেকনোলজিস, নতুন এক্সপিরিয়েন্সেস সবকিছুকে নিয়ে we also have to keep the tradition and the legacy intact. So আমার জন্য it was something like, so when I joined the family business, there are অনেক কিছু, এটা করব ওইটা করব সেটা করব, অনেক কিছু জিনিস মাথায় আসে যে এটা করে এটা করব ওটা করে সেটা করব. But I learned that to join a family business, you also have to be extremely patient. You also have to be extremely understanding. It's running a family business is very equivalent to running a family as well. So you have to be extremely patient. You have to be adapt. You have to be adapting to different perspectives. And I think that was very important for me to learn early on to when I actually got into the family business. So I think these are some of the things which I feel keeps a family business running, keeps a family business going from one generation to another.
Yeah. And Oushnik, coming to my earlier point, I wanted your take on what does legacy mean to you?
To me, legacy is something that defines a company's ethos. Ajke, today PC Chandra stands for generational, I would say, wisdom, generational customers, and generational trust. Why do I say generational wisdom? Today, I am coming to learn what my grandfather and my granduncles did when any problem or when any aspects hit the business. What did they do to come out of it? How did they interact with different kinds of customers? How did they adapt to different scenarios? This is what I call about generational wisdom. Generational customers, today almost 40 to 50% of our customers are, when they come to our showroom, they have been coming through generations. Probably their grandfather, grandmothers came, their mothers and fathers came. Now they are coming with their kids. And that's, I would say that's something which has developed PC Chandra, and it's an immense pride for us, to be honest. It's an immense pride for us. A lot of customers come and tell me that, I've been coming since the time of Boro Babu. Boro Babu means Shri Jawaharlal Chandra, my granduncle, my eldest granduncle. And that's a sense that it's an immense pride for me that they have been coming across 3 generations. Their grandfather came during my granduncle's era. So it's generational customers. It's what keeps the pride, the legacy of PC Chandra. And coming to trust, without trust, nothing is possible. Without trust, nothing can be built. And without trust, nothing can sustain. So I think PC Chandra has been able to, and we as fourth generational leaders of the business, for us, it is extremely important to keep that generational trust alive. So legacy is all these 3 aspects, along with adapting responsibly, but not resisting change. Finding out values that what actually define the family business, and adapting the change according to those values. You see, a legacy can never be built on something that's fashionable. Fashionable stays for a very short time. It has to be built on consistency, integrity, and emotional trust. So I think these are some things which we as leaders of this business, we have tried to adopt, we have tried to imbibe within ourselves. So it's very important for us to distinguish between what's popular, what's a short-term fad, and finding out the meaningful things to do today. So I think that's what legacy means to me.
Yeah, and I read somewhere a quote from you where you said that you envision PC Chandra as a brand that evolves over time without ever losing sight of its roots, and that's a very deep statement. While you are, as the CEO, taking the brand, the company into the next generation and a new direction, obviously there could be a possibility where sometimes legacy and tradition can hold back. You mentioned resistance to change. Was there ever a chance that an innovation, a new thing that you wanted to try, was being held back by, let's say, the legacy, the tradition, the history? And how did you sort of circumnavigate that?
You see, I won't say held back, but yes, there were bottlenecks. There were
Mm-hmm.
certain aspects where things got very slow, and
Mm-hmm.
so I studied my when I was doing my a part of my MBA from HEC Paris. My concentration was marketing, and staying at the heart of the luxury world, I actually realized how important digital marketing is when it comes to luxury.
Mm.
So post my MBA, when I come back to my family business, I got the opportunity and the free hand to actually implement digital marketing into our business on a much more larger scale. So initially, there were some bottlenecks, there were some setbacks when I was. I think one of the initial thing was, why are you planning to spend so much to digital marketing? We are doing so much in media, in newspapers, in brochures, in hoardings, different. So there was that bottleneck which I needed to solve, where I needed to actually explain that, see, this is the where the world is going, these are the statistics, and that is why I need this investment when it comes to digital marketing, because we need to propel our brand into the hands of every consumer. Post that, a lot of bottlenecks came when it came to creative circulation, when it came to different types of communication. So previously, uh, 20 years back, there was, or 10 years back, there was one brand ambassador for PC Chandra Jewellers. Now there are multiple brand ambassadors, and there are multiple people,
Mm-hmm.
celebrity and influencers in digital media talking about PC Chandra Jewellers.
Yeah.
So there was this bottleneck that, there are so many personalities talking.
Mm.
It's giving the brand probably not the right way forward. So there was this bottleneck as well. But then this is the way forward. This is the way where the market is going, where everyone is reaching to different consumers. Every influencer, every digital marketer has a different set of target audiences, and it's our responsibility to reach this different target audiences through them. So I think there were these initial setbacks uh, when I started my digital marketing stint. I I was that time it felt like, why is there so much of resistance? Do they not trust me? Do they not believe what I'm saying? I'm educated. I have these much of experiences. But then I saw it's not exactly about trust or belief. It's about me proving. Today, if I join a business, and I should applaud my predecessors for this. If I join a business, they won't give me a ready free hand.
Yes.
If I join a company for that matter, sorry, if I join a company for that matter, they won't give me free hand right away. They would want me to learn the ethos, learn the values that the brand stand for, and then probably for me to fight through the ranks to actually get what I'm planning to do for that particular company. So here, there's the same exact thing that has happened, and I think that has acted as a natural filter to a lot of things that probably I could have gone wrong if I would have gone without these bottlenecks. So
Yeah.
I think that was probably a very good experience for me right when I joined my family business. Now, actually, it's the scenario has completely changed. Now I could see a lot of the business managers, a lot of my colleagues actually telling me that let us do this in digital marketing, let us do that in digital marketing. And that's, I think, 3-4 years down the line, it's actually a very welcome change. And for me, I would say this is something, one of my early stepping stones towards my credibility in the business.
Yeah. And I think I completely sort of understand what you're saying in terms of how the audience has changed, and every influencer or celebrity talks to a different audience, and the messaging has also changed, from it being purely something for women, wedding jewelry, wedding wear. It has transcended gender stereotypes. Men are wearing jewelry. It's worn on all occasions, and I think with the whole the influencer marketing coming in, everybody is finding something that resonates with them. And I think one thing you had mentioned in the panel discussion, that the Gen Zs, the millennials, and then the Gen Alphas that are on their way, they want something different from the brand. And if a brand has to cater to every segment, then the messaging needs to be different for them. But at the heart of it, obviously, lies the authenticity, the trust, the credibility of the brand. When you take on these new, you know, what I would say technology. So there is digital marketing, there is influencer marketing, there is AR and VR based showrooms and trials, and then digital gold. And I know you had mentioned about your stand on that. When these new technological changes are taking place, what is your go-to approach? Wait and see, adopt, examine. How do you go about these?
So, what I have learned from my predecessors, and I think that has also been an integral part of my belief system, is that any new thing that comes, wait it out. You don't need to adopt right there, right now.
Mhm.
Wait it out, see the credibility of that whole thing, whether that's actually credible or not. So, the logo of PC Chandra Jewellers, other than the red one, there's another logo is the wings, which you can see
Mhm.
in all our communication.
Yeah.
And I have learned that that logo actually stands for something very meaningful. The
Mhm.
center of the logo, which is a circle, stands for the brand's soul, that is the tradition. And the wings on the side actually stand for innovation. So we are taking tradition along with innovation. We find innovation would keep us in the race, but tradition will keep us on track.
Mhm.
So it is extremely important for us to adopt innovation, but after judging the credibility, after judging the long term viability of that particular innovation. Digital gold has been implemented long time back, long time back. And we are now working towards the implementation, towards the how should I put it, introduction of digital gold, because we believe that if PC Chandra Jewellers does something, it's not going to go back from that.
Mhm.
If we adopt something, we are not going to go back. And again, like I said, just circling back, that's how we also keep the generational trust alive. If we do something, consumers trust that yes, if PC Chandra is doing something, we can blindly trust them into this. So I think that's how we are now adopting digital gold. We will be launching digital gold very soon. And just so I give a few numbers, NPCI had recently published the data on digital gold transactions. There, on July alone, there were 9.5 crore transactions when it comes to digital gold. And the total value of these transactions were somewhere around 1,000 plus crores. So this is the scale that digital gold is doing right now. PC Chandra is entering right now. So
Mhm.
that this digital gold is now a market where everyone can trust, where we can trust, and we'll enter right now. So I think staying true to your tradition is extremely important, while adopting innovation is equally important. A new thing that also PC Chandra would do very soon is adopting AR, augmented reality, into their stores. So each store can actually access. So if a customer comes to a particular store and they don't find something that they're looking for, we'll be able to access all our 70 plus locations right now. 70 will be obviously expanding further. Whatever locations are there existing and whichever locations will be implemented in future, they can access the stock from all of these locations and to find their perfect piece. We'll have a nice screen in front of them. They can stand there, sit there, they can wear the jewelry, they can wear the earrings. I mean, obviously through augmented reality they can see how they look. And that's where the world is changing, and that's where even PC Chandra will change for the upcoming future.
Yeah. Oushnik, you had mentioned, moving from sort of traditional marketing to digital social marketing. And today, thanks to you and the team, PC Chandra's social media following is tremendous, like over 1.1 million followers on social media, tremendous customer engagement, consumers becoming brand advocates, talking about it. Uh, what is the playbook for this social media growth and sustainability?
So when I started looking at this team. I would say all credits goes to the team, of course. Before even me, I mean, the team has been working relentlessly, so all credits to them. And when I started actually heading this department, at that time the Instagram follower base was somewhere around 20-25,000, and the Facebook follower base was somewhere around 300,000. As of today, we stand at 81,000 Instagram followers and 1.2 million Facebook followers. And the playbook for me has been very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Be true to your brand, along with bring all the new innovation, bring all the new products, bring all the new trends that reflect your values of the organization to the social media. You see, if I get something into social media which does not have any relation to my company, it would be very awkward for the customer and awkward for the brand as well. There will be a complete disconnect between the both of us. So I first needed to understand how our traditional marketing worked. What are the values that we preach our employees, who then, I would say, focus on customers around the boundary of those values, and then implementing that into because you see, digital media, you're reaching a lot many people on a very short period of time.
Yeah.
You cannot showcase your brand in a way where an existing consumer feels a disconnect, and or the new consumer, when they enter our showroom, feels a disconnect. So it is very important for us to align our values, to align our communication, to align our ethos of the brand, the aesthetics, the tradition of our brand into our digital media. And I would say it has received a tremendous response. We are gaining followers every day. We are getting a good amount of impressions. Our CTR rates are pretty high from the industry standards. So it's worked. This formula has worked pretty well for us. And again, I say, just because this formula has been working now does not mean that I'm gonna make it work in the future as well. There's a daily tracking that goes on. If there is any change that needed, the change happens very fast. No red tape, no egos, no levels of permissions that are needed. If data says that a change is needed, we do change it as and when the digital era follows.
Yeah. And this agility, bringing this kind of agility into an 85-year-old business is something truly commendable, which brings me to something which I, again, while reading about you and PC Chandra, was very interesting. The ability to respond to your customers in a very quick time. So you brought in an initiative that within 24 hours, there's a post-purchase feedback system. And so that the voice of the customer is actually immediately taken into account in shaping the brand strategy. Tell us a little about this initiative. How difficult was it to implement, and what are the benefits you're seeing?
So let me start with its ideation, for that matter. So like I said, from a very young age, I was actually inducted into the business. I was learning about the business. I was hearing about the business. There was this one time during Dhanteras where I was probably in class 8 or 9, where I was told to go to the showroom. That there's a huge queue outside the showroom. The showroom is completely packed. Please go to the showroom. Help your father. I had come to the showroom, and my dad sent me to a role which I feel was an integral part towards the development of this particular project. He told me, stand in front of the gate and greet every customer that are coming in and talk to every customer that are going out. So in front of the showroom, I was there with folded hands, greeting every single customer who were coming in. Whenever customers were leaving, I was asking them, was everything okay? Hope you found what you looked for. If someone said that no, I didn't find, so I was like, can you please give me one more chance? Let me take you to that particular counter. So you see, those things that time I didn't quite understand. Later, when I joined the family business a couple of years back, I realized that that was something which was lacking. And you see, we are a luxury brand, we are a jewelry brand. We need a personalized approach towards feedback. I had started with I started with a feedback paper where customers had to write their feedback and everything. But, those didn't carry that much of value. I needed to reach out to consumers through a voice, through a person, not through a paper, not through a digital form, not through any other media. Uh, so when this whole feedback system was being implemented, I had personally looked into the training of these telecallers. I still personally take a Viva, Viva to these particular, before they get interviewed, like before they are chosen. I personally take a Viva, I personally train them on a regular basis. And right now, this particular system is implemented across 11 of our showrooms. It will be implemented further. So it's been implemented in 11 of our showrooms. And what the system actually does is, every consumer who comes to these 11 of our showrooms, once they purchase, within 24 hours, a call reaches them from a recorded line, asking them about a number of aspects, not only about their feedback on their experience, but also certain things like how was the showroom aesthetic, how was the billing process, how was the evaluation process, was it easy to understand. So I think through these feedbacks, and within those 24 hours, when this kind of a call reaches through a consumer, through a human voice, not an AI, not a chat GPT, not anything, it's a human that's sitting behind the screen. And when they are talking, they are also trained to actually understand the hum of a consumer. A lot of times we have received, so it's fine, it's okay, to all good. They actually ask 2 more times that please tell us so we can improve on our experience, on your experience in the near future. So I think these are very small things that a brand should look into when it comes to their consumer experiences. We have received a number of experience. We have received something like probably I had to go to the first floor to use the washroom. We had actually built a washroom in the ground floor for that particular so when we have received a number of these feedback, we actually built a washroom on the first floor. On the ground floor. Or the lift is coming late, so we actually, or the stairs are too steep. So these are very small customer experiences which customers face on a regular basis, and these are feedbacks that are very important to us. The next time we build a showroom, we actually kept in mind to make the staircases a little bit shorter in height, so it's easier to climb. These are very small things. These are not things that you would regularly come to know, but through a number of feedback, through a number of these kind of customer feedback, we actually understand how to improve further. We have also received complaints, and we have a very stringent complaint resolving formula. If the team receives a complaint, it's escalated escalated directly to that particular showroom manager. Within the next 24 hours, that showroom manager has to call that customer along with the employee, if the customer has any complaint, and apologize or solve the matter. And they have to report within the next 24 hours that everything has been solved. If within 48 hours there's nothing solved, the matter is directly escalated to me. So this is a system that's been implemented, and I think it's working fairly well. We have received enormous consumer praises for this system. And I think as and when we move forward, we'll obviously implement this across all our showrooms.
No, wonderful. I think, and few things that you mentioned. Obviously, the speed with which a resolution is expected by customers today is very short. They have very little patience. So if you're online ordering, you want your issue resolved immediately. You're dealing with your bank, you want your issue resolved immediately. So when you're making such big purchases of high value, obviously the stress of that purchase, the experience of that purchase is very important, and any issue needs to be resolved very, very quickly. That's on the customer side, the consumer side. Obviously, in the jewelry business, you work with tremendously talented craftsmen and artisans. Tell us a little bit about the relationship between the brand and its artisans, the craftsmen, and how they are integrated into making what PC Chandra stands for.
We believe that it's not a singular effort to keep this jewelry industry running. It requires the effort of not only branded jewelers like us, but also these karigars, this craftsmen who actually form the backbone of this particular industry. And honestly, us retailers, us wholesalers we rely a lot when it comes to these kind of karigars. And jewelry making is something which is, again, like I said, which is generational. So these karigars are all 80 to 90%, most of them are all generational karigars.
Yep.
And for us, it is very important to let them grow along with us. We have always believed in an inclusive growth formula. It's not like something where there are a lot of times where a lot of karigars have certain complaints that probably there are n number of complaints that they might have. We ourselves a lot of time take that initiative to get involved into particular. A lot of times I have seen my father, my granduncles, or even my brothers for that matter, they have actually called the karigars to actually display the jewelry in front of them. So we actually see what's the what's their craftsmanship, how different they are from our regular materials, and if needed be, we onboard them ourselves. We onboard them after looking at whenever we onboard a particular karigar, we still look at their work and then onboard them. We ourselves look at that. So I think that's the level of involvement that every single family member of this family has with with all the aspects of this particular business. And I think that is very important. If I don't know how to evaluate a craftsmanship, how to evaluate an artisan, I believe we lack a very integral part of this particular business. Like I said, that I've worked at the factory floor. I've worked making a jewelry. I know how to make a jewelry. I know how to interact with karigars. I know what problems they might face. Today, a lot of times, if a manager comes and tells me that, sir, we need this bala, আমাদের এটা 10 দিনের মধ্যে চাই, এটা আমরা কিছু করতে পারি না, 10 দিনের মধ্যে চাই। আমি তখন ওখানে দাঁড়িয়ে বলতে পারি যে এটা 10 দিনে হবে না, এটা 10 দিনে আমি বানাতে পারবো না। আজকে যখন আমি জানি, যখন আমি নিজেই এটা 10 দিনে বানাতে পারবো না, আমি কি করে একটা কারিগরকে বলবো যে এটা তুমি 10 দিনে বানিয়ে দাও? It's never possible because I know এটা 10 দিনে কখনো বানানো যাবে না। So অনেক সময় এই জিনিসগুলো অনেক misunderstandings create করে between a business and the backbone of the business, these karigars, these artisans. So here is where our involvement comes in, and I would say jehetu we have that training, we have that exposure, we are involved in every single aspect of the business. So it's very important for us to have that ground level knowledge as well, and us to be involved with the karigars.
Yeah. Oushnik, I mean, at a through line, obviously this is something that you live and breathe, but the PC Chandra brand, the legacy has spanned 3 to 4 generations now. Your customers that have, been with you, they have spanned 3 to 4 generations, and even the craftsmen, the artisans, the karigars that have worked with PC Chandra brand, they are also spanning 3 to 4 generations and still going strong together. So, the business family, 3 generations, 4 generations, the customer, 3, 4 generations, the craftsmen, bringing all of them together, building this kind of a strong relationship, an ecosystem. এই ইকোসিস্টেমটার যে আমি কি বলবো, যে ভ্যালুটা, সেটা অ্যাজ দ্য সিইও তুমি কিভাবে দেখো, কিভাবে মানে তোমার মাথায় সেটা কিভাবে প্লে করে?
Actually, this is something which has been imbibed over time. এটা একদিনে হয় না। এটা আমাদের যেভাবে একজন নতুন এন্ট্রেন্টকে ট্রেন করা হয়, সো উই আর, লাইক আই সেড, আমরা বিভিন্ন ডিপার্টমেন্টে প্রথমে রোটেট করি। we are kept under one of our uncles for the initial training of the business. আজকে এই যে পার্টিকুলার জিনিসগুলো যেটা আমাদের ইনিশিয়াল ট্রেনিংয়ে যখন করা হয়, এখানে you don't have a voice. You are supposed to learn at that time. Yes, you are a family member. You have been born into this family. But at that time, it's your training time. You might have opinions. We will listen to them. You have a voice. We agree to hear that voice. But that is your training time. You first get trained. You first learn the business. It requires time for us to learn the business. And I think these are some things, these are values that are imbibed within us, and these are values that have helped us grow. Ajge, I'm the CEO. If my eldest uncle, who's the managing director, if he gives a decision, even if I don't agree to it, I will follow it, no matter what. And even if I have certain, say, probably contradictory things to say, I will tell him in a respectful manner that, see, this is, and I'm sure that he will listen. He will definitely listen. And if there is merit to it, he will definitely acknowledge that. And not only acknowledge that, but he will also tell me the rationale behind his decision. So, ajke ei je generational aspect apni bolchen, it's we are working as a generational business people. আমার দাদুরা ছিল, আমার কাকারা, আমার জ্যাঠারা, আমার বাবা আছে, আমরা আছে, আমার দাদারা আছে, আমরা it's always been a two-way communication. It has never been a one-way communication. So হ্যাঁ, আজকে যদি ওনারা আমাকে কিছু বলে দেয়, I am bound to listen. No matter what, I'm conditioned in a way where I will listen to the seniors of this organization. But they have not, I would say that's not all. They have also given the rationale behind that decision. And I think this is how you actually keep a generational business alive. And when I am sitting here, when I am being conditioned into these particular aspects, I also, it has a cascading and a ripple effect across the organization. Sure. There's always been a two-way communication across the organization. Ajge আমার সিনিয়ররা যখন তার ডিসিশনের রেশনাল দিচ্ছে, আমি যখন আমার জুনিয়রদের কিছু বলবো, আমিও আমার ডিসিশনের রেশনালটা ওদেরকে দেবো. আই উইল অলসো লিসেন টু হোয়াট দে উড সে. সিমিলারলি ইট ক্যাসকেড থ্রু দ্য হায়ারার্কিয়াল প্রসেস অফ দ্য অর্গানাইজেশন. আজকে যখন জেনারেশনাল কনজিউমার্স আমাদের কাছে আসে, আমরা দুজনের অ্যাসপেক্টটাই শুনি. আজকে প্রবাবলি আ জেন জি won't like something which is very traditional, or probably a baby boomer won't like something which is extremely modern. So we try to make something which converges both. We try to make something which has both integrated into a particular jewelry. A lot of our jewelry, we have a sleek choker with a Lahori pattern. So we are also trying to innovate when it comes to jewelry. We take both of their feedback very seriously. Ajke ekjoner maar meye ashle ba ekjoner baba chele ba in whatever combination it may be, যদি আসে আমাদের শোরুমে and they say, বাবা বলছে যে না এটা না আমার খুব একটা ভালো লাগে, এটা একটু এইভাবে কর. ছেলে বললো যে না বাবা আমার এটা বড্ড ট্রেডিশনাল লাগছে, আমি একটু এটাকে চেঞ্জ করি, একটু এইভাবে করি. আমরা ইনস্টেড বলি যে আমরা একটা ড্রয়িং করে আপনাকে দিই, একটু আপনারা দেখেন কেরম লাগছে. We try to integrate both. হ্যাঁ, obviously if there is something which is vastly different যেটা আমরা করতে পারবো না, আমরা হাত জোড় করে যে স্যার ম্যাডাম এটা আমাদের দ্বারা সম্ভব হচ্ছে না, কিন্তু we try to integrate this as well. This from the consumer side. এখানে দুজনই comfort feel করে. From the employee perspective, there is this fact there is this fact that আজকে আমার সিনিয়র এই ডিসিশনটা দিল, কেন দিল? Let me ask, আচ্ছা আমার এই ভিউটা আছে, আপনি তো এটা দিলেন, আমার একটু এই ভিউটা আছে. There is this two-way communication that should be there. So I think this is how a generational business, generational customers, generational across the generation, because we have always learned one thing is to approach this এখন একটা নতুন, মানে not নতুন, but there is this thing called generational gap.
Mhm.
Generational gap occurs when you face things with disruption instead of collaboration. And
Yeah.
this is where I think we are trying to build ourselves in a spirit of collaboration rather than disruption.
Yeah. I think couple of fundamental, elements that you spoke about. Obviously, the value of relationships preserved for a respect for the individual, being empathetic towards somebody with a different viewpoint. And this is very interesting because I read somewhere that even not just the early days, but even today, when you meet your senior family members in office, you address them as sir, not by their family relation. I think that's where you separate the family aspect from the business aspect, and for managing workplace relationships, that is very important because you don't let the personal life come into the workplace and keep those completely separate. As a leader, Oshnik, obviously you're very very young. As a young leader in this legacy business, what are some of the the leadership fundamentals that you carry with you, that have helped you and that you think can help potentially future leaders listening to this?
Be humble and be perseverant. Ajke, in legacy businesses like ours, there are a lot of processes, there are a lot of things that are developed over time. It is very important for us to be humble. We have to borrow speed from startups, to be honest. We have to borrow speed from startups, but we have to build roots like banyan trees while we are going along the way. Today, just because we are an 85-year-old organization does not mean that our roots are already saturated. No. While we are borrowing speed, while we are growing, even our roots need to grow. So that is something which I strongly believe. And I understand that a lot of young leaders, when they join their family business, they are brimming with ideas. They want those ideas to be implemented as soon as possible. But in older and I would say in legacy businesses, it takes time navigating the layers of different authorities to have your ideas heard, even more so implemented. So
Mhm.
I think it is very important to have patience, understand that it takes time, build your credibility first. I understand that, a lot of people get impatient that I have studied across so many renowned universities. I have it had such experiences, but understand that is something that's personal. This is something, family business is not personal, it's something which you do with your family. Today in our boardroom, 3 generations of families sit together, everyone voicing their opinions, sharing their experiences, and coming to a common conclusion. It's not easy, it is not easy for people newly entering the family business, educated people like me, my brothers, everyone. It is always not easy. My brothers have played a very important role in actually nurturing me. They have told me the they have nurtured me, they have educated me in ways that no university can actually educate me when it comes to handling boardroom situations. My father, my uncles, my granduncles, my grandfather, they have educated me in ways to handle business problems, to handle business issues like no business school will ever teach you. Their experiences are important. Their experiences carry weight. So for me, it is very important to remain patient, to be perseverant. Obviously, that to have your ideas implemented faster, you have to build your credibility as well. But
Yeah.
now here comes the paradox. It's a classic chicken and egg story. Here comes the paradox. Your ideas will be the stepping stones to your credibility. So that is why initially be humble, be perseverant, constantly try to achieve them. Definitely, a time will come where your credibility will reach a point where your ideas would be implemented sooner than even you can probably think about, where your family members will collaborate with you to have your ideas actually implemented. But that requires time, that requires credibility. I think that's something which I would say to all young entrepreneurs, which I have learned, which I have been bestowed, the knowledge that I've been bestowed upon through my predecessors and my brothers.
Yeah. Oushnik, sort of switching gears because I know we are close to the hour mark. Uh, Pujo is coming, and you are obviously leading PC Chandra into a whole new era and direction. What can we expect from PC Chandra in terms of expansion, diversification? Tell us a little bit about your growth plans.
So, PC Chandra is looking towards an aggressive expansion plan.
Mhm.
So we are planning to expand. We are planning to expand across pan India, across the Northeast. Uh, we are planning to expand across states which are predominantly having a large number of Bengali population. But since now we are also being loved by different cultures across India, we are planning to expand to different cities as well. We are planning to do an international expansion to Dubai and then to US and UK as well. So that's also in the works, which us fourth generation leaders, me, my brothers, they are working towards. We are working towards that particular expansion. So we definitely have an aggressive expansion plan lined up. We have different. We are now implementing newer jewelry designs for our customers. We have been, and we are still, and we will always work for building different designs, building different I would say different designs which cater to different target groups of customers. So that's something which we are also working upon. Every day newer designs are being churned by our production departments. And you see, it is very important to have, we as a jewelry company, we as a gold and diamond retailer, it is very important for us to have our designs relevant, and that is what we are working constantly towards that. So yes, we have a big expansion plan ready for the next 2 to 3 years. We have designs that are constantly being innovated to cater to today's consumers, to being relevant to today's target group. And I think that's how PC Chandra Jewellers is slowly but surely moving towards, I would say, moving towards a future where we can definitely integrate our tradition and our innovation together.
Brilliant. Oushnik, I know that you also have a passion for marksmanship. আর সেটাতে দুটো খুব vital element আছে. একটা obviously is the aim towards a target, but also extreme amount of patience. This hobby or passion of yours, how has it fed into your life and your leadership?
So when I was doing rifle shooting, I've participated in 3 national championships. And rifle shooting has taught me a very important thing. Even if your aim loses once, be calm, be patient, concentrate on the second one.
Mhm.
That is the first thing that it has taught me. The second thing that it has taught me is exactly opposite to what I said the first. Once a bullet leaves the barrel, you cannot take it back. What do I mean by that? Let me explain the first. The first is, even if you miss the bullseye one time, you have another bullet, you have another chance. Even if you miss certain, I would say, even if you do mistake once, you have another time to actually resolve that, to actually take care of that, to actually understand that, yes, what I've done previously, was there a problem in my breathing that my bullet went haywire? Was there a problem in the way I pulled the trigger that my bullet went haywire? Was there a problem in executing certain ideas that this project didn't work? So you have another chance. This is what it has taught me the first. The second thing is exactly opposite. Once it has left the barrel, you cannot take it back. Once you say something, as a leader, once you say something, you can never take it back. sacrifice heals, but outbursts always kills. So in family businesses, you will have difficult conversations. You will enter into difficult conversations with your family members, with your own father, for that matter of fact. But it is very important to understand that preserving the relationship capital is very important. Understand how much relationship capital you are planning to invest in this particular problem. Because once you say something, you can never take it back. Once a bullet leaves the barrel, you can never take it back. So always, I think that has taught me a very important lesson, that prioritize preserving relationships over proving a point.
Brilliant. Oushnik, last two things. A quick rapid fire, which we have started doing, not to put you in the spot, but just to understand,
Please.
a little bit about the person behind the role. Uh, you are in the, jewelry business. Is there any particular item, heirloom, jewelry that is very precious to you, carries a deep meaning to you, and if you could share?
Absolutely. It's the first ring that I've made with my own hands.
Wow.
Making ring is relatively very easy,
Mhm.
but when you start, it is extremely difficult. So it is the first ring. So it's the first ring which I made from scratch with my own hands, with all the chela designs, making it round, with all the grooves, with all the curves. So প্রথম আংটি যেটা আমি বানিয়েছিলাম সেটা আমার কাছে এখনো আছে. That is probably my favorite piece of jewelry that I've kept it with me. And that serves as a reminder that
Sure.
even if I'm serving as a CEO now, the director in future, never forget that this is where I come from. I come from a place where you have to understand the nitty-gritties. You have to understand the business from the ground up. So I think that's something which carries a very, it's not only my favorite piece, but it also carries a very deep meaning in my heart.
Sure. You are a Kolkata boy, but been exposed to three different continents. Any particular place in Kolkata or in the world that is your favorite go-to place?
Well, there has not been much, I would say, going to recently, but if I could say, one of my most favorite places will be the spot in Prinsep Ghat where you can actually see the Howrah Bridge, the river flowing, that side of Calcutta and this side of Calcutta. It's just a very scenic spot for me to just sit there and actually reflect. So, I mean, a very common spot for probably everyone in Calcutta. And I would say I'm nothing special. I'm also a very common man. So I love that spot.
Okay. Last one. One book that has left a deep impact on your life.
There's this book that I've read called Atomic Habits. It's again, it's a very common
James
book. It's
Clear?
one of by James Clear, exactly.
Yes.
And that has left not only an impact, but that's something which I practice on a daily basis. That book tells how to build a habit, you have to start one step at a time.
Yeah.
So, like I've already previously said, to build your credibility, it's one stepping stone at a time. So, it's a book which has left a deep and meaningful impact in my life. If I want to go do a project, if I want to build a habit, if I want to do something, I always break it down into pieces. Go one step at a time. It's not only a very sure shot way to actually get to a particular destination, but it also gives you that particular clarity that where you are trying to reach is actually the destination that you want to reach.
Sure. Oushnik, it's been a real pleasure listening to you. Before I let you go, you are a Kolkata boy. You belong to this tremendous legacy that you carry with you of PC Chandra, the 85-year-old legacy. You're making Bengal proud. You're making Kolkata proud. From your vantage point, what is your take on Kolkata? And what is your message for the listeners and viewers of Kolkata Calling?
This is a place where I've been born and brought up. I have traveled. I've stayed across 3 countries. I've stayed in UK. I've stayed in US for an extended period of time. I've stayed in France, for that matter, and I have still come back to Calcutta. I always say that this is a place which I love dearly. This is a place where I could feel that my heart goes out to. So I think Calcutta is a feeling. Calcutta is something which you probably can never get out of your system. And for me, when I am born and brought up in this particular city, celebrating Durga Puja, celebrating different kind of festivals with my family, with my friends, I think to me, uh, Calcutta carries a lot of emotional weight. It's defined who I am, and to actually have this particular city in your heart, I would say, just to be to have this city in your heart. So I think that's probably it.
And Oushnik, I think whatever you do in business, I think doing it from the heart is very, very clear. Whether you talk about, the legacy of the family business, treating everybody with respect, preserving relationships, building and preserving relationship with your customers, with your artisans, the adaptability, the empathy, and I think the most important thing that you kept, putting stress on is the trust and the credibility and the authenticity. That is very, very important in every business, but especially more in the business that you are in of gold and diamond jewelry. Uh, Oushnik, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time today and gracing us on our 50th Golden Jubilee episode. Uh, Looking forward to you doing wonders with the PC Chandra brand, and more power to you, more power to PC Chandra. With that, we'll close the podcast today.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.